How's it going, y'all? It's me, Space Cadet. I know everything about One Piece. I've watched every episode of One Piece available on non-anime. Over 1,100 episodes. And that's way too much to cover in one video. So, I'm just going to be talking about where I left off from the previous video. Somewhere in the middle of the Wanno arc. The big boss battle between Luffy, Traffy, and Kid above my expectations, honestly. Around the big fight scenes, they also changed the animation style up, but it is very different. The whole Devil Fruit Awakening, really cool. They're just showing off their really cool abilities. I thought Luffy was just going to use Ryuo to defeat Kaido. I thought that was like his big thing to learn to break through Kaido, but clearly I was wrong. Which, who knows, he may have been able to defeat Kaido with just Ryuo. Mr. Mast, CP0 agent, steps in and causes Luffy to get knocked the fuck out. Apparently he dies. Apparently he literally dies. But Luffy awakens into 5th gear, which is just the coolest, the coolest series of events ever. Him awakening Gear 5, just hearing the drums of liberation, and then Zunisha acknowledging Joy Boy's return. That was just such a cool scene. I love that. That was just so cool. And then both Sanji and Zoro getting upgrades as well with superhuman scientist technology and a really badass sword. And how can we forget Odin? Every scene with Odin in it, I felt like I had a smile on my face. And it really sucks that he was tricked by Kaido and shot at the end, but he's born to boil, so let him boil. Probably what he would have wanted. And then after they win, after Big Mom and Kaido are defeated and everything's said and done, the Navy guy, I forgot what his name was, but he comes up, but he wants to start raining on everybody's parade, but Shanks from literally outside of Wano just completely shuts this guy down. That's an insane display of power. And then another insane display of power whenever he one-shots Kid with divine departure. That scene had me geeked. And Blackbeard and Law also have a fight right after Wano, which doesn't end the best for Traffy, but it's still a pretty cool fight in the new animation style. I know Traffy had to lose in that fight because Blackbeard's like the big bad villain. But I feel like Traffy could have done a whole lot better in that fight. I feel like Traffy could have stood a much better chance against those guys than he did. And the next island Luffy goes to is Egghead, where Dr. Vegapunk is, and where he has split himself into 6 people, which this arc isn't completed yet, at least in the anime. At least the animated version isn't completed yet. I think in the manga it's completed all the way to the next arc, which is Elbaf, and I am so excited for that arc. I cannot wait until they animate that arc. In the last video, I predicted that Luffy would have a rematch with Lucci, and I was right. Lucci also awakened his Devil Fruit, along with off-brand Usopp, whatever his name is. Giraffe Man. He also awakened his Devil Fruit. I'm not quite sure yet. It's looking like Luffy is going to be fighting one of the 5 elders pretty soon. So I'm pretty excited to see what that'll be like. And it seems like Zoro is gonna be fighting Lucci this time, which is gonna be an interesting matchup as well. I can't wait to see that fight. And Kuma is in the background a lot right now. There's something up with Kuma right now. We've been getting a lot of Kuma backstory. I know he's Bonnie's dad, and she's very prominent in the story right now, so we're getting a lot of her backstory and his a little bit together. But Kuma's doing some stuff in the background. He just went to Marie Joie for some reason, and then after that, I think he's sent himself to Egghead. I'm not quite sure yet. I'm not even gonna get into the whole emu situation. I think when Luffy and the crew gets to Elbaf, they're gonna have to train. What do you guys think will happen next? Let me know down in the comments. And that will about do it for this one, and I'll see you in the next one.